Welcome everybody. Welcome to the most must-see talk show in history. Welcome to Ms. T. Just kidding. All right, let's get serious for a second. All right, welcome to the very first and only once-in-a-lifetime special edition of Atlas Talks Wrestling. I'm your host, Jason Atlas, and with me, the tables are turning tonight, our very special guest, Tony the Tiger. What's up, Tony?
Hey, Jason. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, man. You support us. I figured it's a way to give back. Let's get right into it, man. I'm going to start off with some of my questions, and then we'll move on to some of the fan questions that were given to me. All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Shoot.
First question. I came prepared as fuck. So,
Good.
how old were you when you first got into pro wrestling?
Ooh, that's a good question. I've been watching since I was a kid. I was probably 6 or 7 maybe when I first started watching, if not younger than that. I know my grandpa first got me involved in it. We would watch. He had a little black and white TV that we would watch it on every once in a while, whenever I was over at his house. So ever since I was very young.
Which leads me into my next question. What was the first match that you can remember that you ever laid eyes on? I know mine. Let's see if you know yours.
Yeah, I can't really say a first match. I can say the first pay-per-view I really remember ever watching live, which was WrestleMania 10. So
That's a good one.
it was very good WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, unforgettable.
Agreed.
You know what? Backyard wrestling. Same question. How old were you when you first got into backyard wrestling?
Well, that one's easy. That was about 2 years ago. So I'm 32 now. I was 30 then. The first thing, if it might be a question you're going to get into, first thing I found, I was just looking for wrestling pretty much on YouTube. First thing I found was KBW, as most people first watch that.
Ever so
And,
popular.
yep. Watched pretty much all of their shows. And then from there, seeing that Cage and AK were going to an event called WrestleCon. And from WrestleCon, I got hooked up with VTW, UWE, APW at the time, which was ending going towards its end at that point. But
And it just keeps blowing up. New companies everywhere. Expanding.
exactly, you know it.
Um, Same question of the first match you ever laid eyes on. It must have been a KBW match, right?
Yeah, I can't remember which one was the very first one. I know Cage had asked me when I had him on here which one was the first one. I don't recall if it was the very first episode that I watched first, or if there was just an episode that popped up when I typed in wrestling on YouTube that I watched first.
I remember the first time I went. I checked out KBW. It was a Rumble. You had Pac-Man in there,
Yep,
AK, Big Time. But Big Time wasn't in it. Bulldozer, a whole
Bulldozer.
bunch of yeah. All right, so we'll get into the next one. Um, Now there's no jumping around this question. You got to give me a straight answer. Who is your favorite backyard wrestler of all time?
Yeah.
I told you. I thought
Yep, I know
Atlas
you did.
talks hard hitting questions.
Okay. So people probably say it's cliche, but I have to say Cage. So
I love
it's
the
got to
guy.
be straight
I
up
really
answer,
do.
bud.
Getting to work with him at Reunion was like a dream come true.
Right? I mean, that's
All
not to
right, we're
take
gonna
anything away from anybody else, but just the things that that man can do in a ring, for that matter. Just seeing him improve from the beginning of KBW to what he's doing now.
it's almost how do you say fire in Spanish?
Good question.
um All right, so we're gonna move it over to the questions from others. This is fans, backyard wrestlers, all inclusive. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
Um, I didn't pull back any of the questions that were asked, so whether they're challenging or ridiculous or whatever, I'm gonna ask them. The first one comes
Okay.
from Bone Daddy from the Beyond.
Oh, geez.
I don't know if you heard about Bone Daddy's situation, but I believe
Yep.
a hooker sat on his face and suffocated him.
Yep. I heard.
Bone Daddy wants to know, do you want the bone, Tony?
No, I don't want the bone.
Tony doesn't want the bone. All right, if you're watching, or down there, wherever the fuck you are,
Right.
he doesn't want the bone. And the next one comes from JJ the Pitbull Cordera.
All
This is a
right.
pretty cool one, actually. If you had to choose between two spots, would you go off the top of a Hell in a Cell on a table or take a power bomb on the steps with thumbtacks? You have to take one spot.
That's easy. I would take the off the top of the Hell in a Cell onto a table. No doubt about it.
All right.
I mean, just seeing Shane McMahon do that every time he's in a cell match, it's just,
It
it's,
makes you want to jump off of something, right?
yeah, it does. As odd as that sounds, it does.
As you can see, I got all dressed up for my one and only, you know.
Got your Sunday best on. I see that.
Oh yeah, Sunday best. Uh, Pajamas too. They're comfy. Next one comes from Johnny Johnson.
Oh, Lord.
I hope you're ready for this one.
Oh, probably not.
Would you rather eat a roast beef sandwich where the bun is two pieces of dog shit, or a double-decker shit sandwich on wheat bread with no mayonnaise? I personally hate mayonnaise, so I'd probably take the latter. Oh, twist. You're on a deserted island and there are no other options.
Well, shit. I was going to say neither. I'd probably
Both
just starve, to be honest with you.
starved to death.
Yeah, I'd starve to death because neither one of those sound appetizing at all.
He was really dying for you to pick one of those two options, but
I'm sure Johnny was, but sorry, I'd starve.
um, I feel like you could see the comment section and I can't right now. So what do we got going on right now? Anything?
We got a few people in. They're not really asking any questions or anything. Let's see what we got. Busta Boys in, FDN, King Dominator, J Joker, all saying, hey, what's up?
Those are your loyals, man. You
FPN,
gotta treat them right.
Riley Bates, yep.
Mm-hmm. Come on, guys. Let's hear some questions. I got plenty. I really do. But you know, let's light that comment section up on top of that. Let's go. If you hear any of them, feel free to answer them. Stop me whenever. All right.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. We're gonna move on to someone named the Bright Side. Wants to know: do you like rainbows or puppies more? Both are super duper expialidocious.
Wow. I'm interested in seeing who this Bright Side is eventually, but I guess I'd have to go with puppies on that one.
Puppies, yeah. My girlfriend loves puppies. All right. Tony loves puppies. So does Jerry the King Lawler.
True point. Okay, so I got a question from the chat section here real quick.
All right.
Jay Joker wants to know, how often do I eat Frosted Flakes?
Hey, if you had a nickel for every time you got that question,
I'd be a millionaire. Oh,
yeah,
probably close to it.
you'd be hosting this on CNN.
You're right. How often do I eat Frosted Flakes? Not all that often, to be honest with you. I like it, but it's not really my favorite cereal. So I eat it once a month, maybe, or a couple times a month, if that.
I have a feeling Jay Joker is blown away by that.
Right.
Right.
Let me go a couple more. There's here.
Sure.
King Dominator asked, the questions are aimed towards me, not towards Jason for this one, but if you wanted to answer it, he asked who your favorite wrestler, WWE wrestler is.
Wait, he asked me or you?
He was asking you.
I don't know if he means current or of all time.
We'll see if he answers. But past that, Busta Boy wanted to know from me what a dream match I would love to be a part of. Damn, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
The Joker said I'd have enough nickels to buy a box of Frosted Flakes. That's funny. You might be right. Dream match I would love to be a part of. King Dominator says current. So if you got an answer to that, I'll think about this question from Busta Boy.
Oh, current. Well, we're looking at the two guys in the triple threat match for the Intercontinental title, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Those are two huge ones. I love Braun right now. No matter what he does, it's over as fuck.
True. Very true. The dream match I would love to be a part of. if it's pro wrestling wise, WWE wise, shit, that's tough. I mean, who wouldn't want to step in the ring with the Undertaker? To be honest with you,
100%.
so I think that's who I'd have to pick.
Sorry, I had to give you my sexy logo made by J Joker Designs himself for a minute because I charged my phone pretty much to the brim and it was already dying. So.
Oh, damn. Got a couple more questions now.
I don't have a computer.
FDN wants to know what my favorite backyard wrestling match is. I'm assuming.
Oh, by the way, if these guys start stealing any of my questions, there's going to be hell to pay.
Okay. Well, you just let me know if they do, because I have no clue what questions you got. So.
Continue.
Yeah. A favorite BYW match. I can't pick one, to be honest with you. There's just so many great matches out there. I'd pretty much have to pick maybe one. Wow, I couldn't even do that. I was going to say maybe one per company, but I don't think I could even do that. So
it's tough.
Yeah, very much so. So I kind of got to skip that one.
All right, we could come back to that because I have something like that on here. So just coming from me.
Go ahead with some of your questions. I'll get to the other questions on here.
All right, so we're going to keep – we got some anonymous questions. Okay. People that preferred to remain anonymous.
Fair enough.
Here's our first anonymous fan. How big is Damon's dick?
I have no clue and don't want to know.
Never mind.
Yeah, you might be accurate. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll see you at the street fight, bitch. Next off, we got what are some red flags to now these are non-related wrestling questions. I was told a couple just because, most of them are going to be wrestling. Some people might just want to know just about you. Well, this is a weird one kind of, but what are some red flags to watch out for in daily life?
Ooh. That's tough.
I guess this guy stumped you.
Yeah, I've stumped me on that one. There's so many different things that you could. It depends on the situation, what you're talking about, who you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And I got nothing for that one. There's so many things that you could say.
Just go off the top of your head. Say banana pops in your head. Say banana. Just
sure. No, I guess if you just see somebody who looks like trash, pretty much, then you want to avoid them for one thing.
Yeah, some weirdo with a lip ring and a beard and a blazer and pajamas. Run away. Sure. Run 5,000 fucking miles in the other direction.
No, not quite that bad, but still. But no, you know the type of people I'm pretty much talking about. There's some people out there that you just know when you take one look at them, you don't want to be anywhere around them. So. Mm-hmm. I would say partially it's looks-wise, because if you see somebody who's looking like trash, like I said, then...
Yeah. Imagine seeing the Undertaker in a dark alley and it just happens
I'd run.
Here on the floor.
Right?
The Undertaker. Hanging out by the dumpster.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we're gonna go to the next one from there. This is kind of an interesting one. And it could get embarrassing for you if you want to tell the truth. What was the best or worst joke someone played on you? Story time.
Ooh. People don't play jokes on me that often, but my dad's a kidder, but he doesn't really do jokes.
Prank, joke,
Yeah, I know. Pranks, jokes. I don't get pranked that often either, so not something that's easy for people to do, apparently, or they just don't try to. I never played pranks on anybody really either. What's that?
I said, don't worry, it's going to get weirder.
I'm sure it will.
All right.
Yeah, I don't really got any.
Move on to the next one. What food have you never eaten but would really like to try?
Oh, I tried so many things over the last few years that I thought I'd never try. Let's see. It's tough to answer that one too, but I'll go with something. Wow. I actually tried venison for the first time a couple of years ago and
What?
was surprised by how good it was. So something I never thought I'd like, to be honest. Um,
What is venison?
Venison, deer meat.
Oh, I didn't know there was a special name for it.
Yeah, that's what it's actually called, is venison.
You ever try octopus?
I have not tried octopus.
That could be one.
There we go. We'll go with that. Just to see if it tastes like chicken, like people say a lot of things do.
Exactly. Here comes the conspiracy question.
Uh-oh.
Do you think aliens exist?
No, I don't. Straightforward.
Quick and to the point.
Yes, I'm quick to that one.
This is probably one of my favorite questions from a fan. Because I can think of so many that would be just awesome and hilarious at the same time. If someone from Backyard Wrestling narrated your life, who would you want the narrator to be?
Damn. There's so many guys that.
I know.
No, I think I know who I would pick. It would have to be one person only. It'd have to be Big Time Mike.
That was the second answer I thought you were going to come up with.
Yeah, I mean, with the way he can sell just about anything.
Oh yeah.
How can you not pick Mike?
Like, what if you got hit by a bus and he just went boom, biatch?
Right?
The first answer I thought you were going to say was the King of the Mountain.
Yeah, that would be my second choice. Would be Nevada. So
it's in reverse. Oh my God, so many things that. I don't know.
Get to a couple questions here in the comments real quick.
Go for it.
Because I just lost track of some of the things and I want to catch up. Riley Bates asked, if I were to stop Tiger Talks Wrestling, what would be a good ending note? Doing another All-Stars show, doing again someone interviewing me, or everyone that I interviewed in a chat? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it'd have to be another All-Stars show of some sort if I decided to call it quits. Just to have everybody on and hang out for one last time. Possibly a one last time. Not that I plan on ending Tiger Talks Wrestling anytime soon, for anybody who's wondering. And for anybody who might have thought that last week's show would have been a death nail in the show.
While you answer a couple more, I'm going to be right back, okay?
Go for it.
After these messages.
We'll be right back. King Dominated asked if I will be watching BYW Mania 2 on July 31st. Maybe? I don't know for sure. Ooh, that's a good question, Justin. What is my theme song, the one that I would make an entrance to? I've never thought about that, to be honest with you. I'm a huge AC/DC fan, though.
Yeah.
So I think I'd have to pick an AC/DC song, maybe Highway to Hell. I really enjoy that song.
I'm on the highway to hell. I'm back.
Uh-oh.
Highway to hell. All right.
Yeah, I just think that'd be an awesome song to come out to. Darkside asked before we've been for years, says, "What's up, Tony? Not much. Good to see you in here, Darkside. And has there ever been a point in time that I wrestled? No, I have never actually wrestled. I play wrestled with friends when I was younger, but never actually wrestled that's been recorded. So there's that.
Is that all we got right now?
There's more in here if you want me to go off a couple more.
Yeah, do 2 more.
One last question from Busta Boy wants to know, what is my favorite backyard wrestling event and why?
Busta Boy, you bastard.
Uh-oh. He stole a question, apparently.
Go ahead. Go for it.
You know, my answer about 7-8 months ago, maybe even a year ago, would have been Best in the Yard. But no more. I gotta be honest. I'd have to stay local. Local, not loco, for anybody who might have misinterpreted what I said. I really enjoyed when I went to When Worlds Collide last year, and I am looking forward to being a part of When Worlds Collide 2 this year because, again, it's something right here in Michigan, and I think these guys really do a great job with what they're doing. So that would be why.
H2 is the GOAT over there, my boy.
Jay Joker says Octopus is not bad at all, and that he would have Navon or Big Time Mike narrate his life. Busboy says
those are really the best two choices,
right? Busboy says it was 5 years ago on a hot summer day. I can't do Navon, but
that goddamn seagull.
All right, so the last question that's in there right now comes from Mr. Judgment. He wants to know what my first impression of DBW was after participating in a big way at Total Domination. Did I? I was really impressed, to be honest with you. I hadn't really seen, I don't think really anything from DBW, hardly anything, if anything, before I watched Total Domination 2 last year, where Navon and Cam had that hell of a last man standing match. And I was really impressed. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching since then. So you know what I think of some of your matches too, for that matter. But Riley Bates has a question, but I'll get into that after if you want to go to some of yours.
Yeah.
We'll catch up with more later.
And I'm not going to point any pens or anything, but a certain somebody made a debut at Total Domination 3.
Yep, I seen that. That's the only thing I have seen from Total Domination 3 so far.
Came in with a bang.
True.
Casey James didn't want it. He's gonna pay. Oh well, we'll go. This isn't about me. It's about my boy Tony, and we're gonna go into the next question. What are you interested in that most people aren't?
Good question. How do I answer that? Somewhat, you'd have to say wrestling, because there's a lot of people that don't really understand wrestling, for one.
They talk a lot of shit.
Yeah, right? Besides that, man, the only thing I could think of is certain things that I might watch on TV that some people wouldn't know that.
What?
Oh, you would ask that. There's so many things I watch. I don't get emotional during it, but I watch NBC's This Is Us, and I enjoy watching that show. So I watch all the superhero shows on the CW network. So
UWE's World Heavyweight Champion out right now, who's currently watching the Jersey Shore at the same time as my girlfriend. So to me, that's a very unpopular one.
Right? No, I can't say I've never watched the Jersey Shore before, but I don't think I ever watched an actual episode when it was first aired.
Well, hopefully it was to point and laugh.
Okay.
Such terrible gimmicks in wrestling came from that trash show.
I would agree.
Robbie E. At one point, Zack Ryder was kind of riding the coattails of the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, he was. Well, Robbie E. might have had a bad gimmick, but that dude's a pretty good wrestler.
He could wrestle, yeah. He could move around the ring, man.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. This is kind of similar. What was cool when you were young, but isn't cool
now? I didn't hang out with the cool kids for one thing, so couldn't tell you.
I'm sure there was something that that everybody found cool. You did too. For me, Razor scooters were pretty awesome when I was, when they just came out, and now that's just an example. Now, if you're on
things like that I never really had a chance to partake with, that we never had much money in my family, so we never had the cool new things that came out back then. But let's think. Hey, something I can tell you, one show that I enjoyed and thought was cool back then, and a lot of people did, that's not so much now. That's Power Rangers, really.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. Ivan Ooze was the GOAT.
Yes.
I love the movie.
Yep. I haven't seen the movie that came out last year.
Every time I get in the ring with somebody, I pretend they're a fucking putty.
There you
go. This is gonna get interesting. Vanilla or chocolate?
It's gonna get interesting, huh? Chocolate.
No, because these are just back to back, like boom, boom, answer. But
okay.
Yeah. Chocolate. Titties or ass?
Oh, that one's tough. I have to say titties.
I knew I liked you.
There you go.
All right. Now keep in mind, I've been asking fan questions for a while, anonymous people.
Yep.
And we're about to get back to some names, and then we're gonna get back to mine. Favorite Daniel Bryan match of all time?
That one's tough, but I think I'd have to go a little more recent to when he actually won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 30. That triple threat match that he had with Batista and Randy Orton, I thought was one of his, that whole night period was one of his greatest performances, from beating Hunter and then going on to win the triple threat match.
Care to comment on any of his Ring of Honor stint?
To be honest with you, I was never that big of a Ring of Honor fan until just recently, so I never really seen any of his Ring of Honor stuff.
Go back and watch him and Styles, man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's a great choice, definitely. Back to Daniel, keeping it on the Daniel Bryan subject. If or when Daniel Bryan steps down as SmackDown Live general manager, who do you think will be next in line?
You know, that's a good question. I've seen a few names dropped because it's more than likely going to happen that he's going to step down after WrestleMania. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Kurt Angle went into the Hall of Fame last year, and you seen him pop up as Raw GM not long after. Mm-hmm. I've seen it rumored, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Double J, Jeff Jarrett himself, as the next SmackDown general manager.
Wow. Don't say TNA. Oops.
I'm not mentioning that.
This one comes from the King of the Mountain himself, Navon McDonald. Thoughts on Halloween Hell 2, and what do you expect to happen going forward?
I thought Halloween Hell 2 was an awesome event. Now, I'm not going to say all of it was great. Most of the matches were. I had an issue with the main event, to be honest with you. Man, there were so many matches on that show. I just felt a little bit burnt out by the time they finally got to it, for one. And then, not that it was something they could really prevent, but the lighting going out, and I just felt that they didn't give Shadow and Joseph enough time, to be honest with you, to do what they needed to do in that match. But otherwise, I thought the show was amazing. Navon and Cam knocked it out of the park in that Halloween Hell match. And the tag team match, even at the beginning of the show, those were my two favorite matches, to be honest with you, of the entire show. So,
honestly, these Continental title matches keep surprising the shit out of me.
Just that triple threat match
for it was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
I've never been an Ellis Taylor fan until that match, man.
Right?
Unfortunately, he made a fan out of me. I'm not even upset.
Yeah.
You're probably not watching this shit because,
Indy and all that.
But Ellis Taylor, great fucking match.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, you didn't finish the question because
what is the other part of it?
Going forward, what are you expecting?
Oof, that's tough. Yankee won the Rise to the Case briefcase, so the Murder Club now has the Hardcore Championship and the Tag Team Championships in their ranks. I have a feeling going forward in the near future, probably more so than the distant future, the World Heavyweight Championship, or the Undisputed Championship, rather, is going to be going into the Murder Club, and I think Murder Club is going to take over. However, there's one man that possibly could stop the Reign of Terror in NUW, which is shocking that you can say this, but we've seen a little glimpse of him at Halloween Hell. if Novin, shouldn't mention that name perhaps, but if he is back, then he's possibly the only person that I think could stop the Murder Club from taking him out. Now, I will also mention this. You have a little bit of a future here in NUW, we know now that you and a couple other guys, Ustalo and Revan, have a little group together to show up there. I think you guys will do quite well, I'm sure, for yourselves once you pop up there. And you might even give Murder Club a run for their money, even for the tag team titles, in my opinion. So,
Oh, Tony, my boy, you don't even know.
I'm sure. But
It's staying under the rug for now, but when it crawls out, you're gonna see some shit.
I'm expecting good things. Let's put it that way.
Oh, absolutely.
And hopefully that's a good enough answer for Naban, because if that, well, too bad, bud.
Only problem is I'm not gonna bring too much of the balance side.
No, I'm sure.
As much as you know. Uh, let's move forward a little bit. Favorite WrestleMania main event of all time?
Damn.
You can't go back to. You already used Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I know. I would.
That's a lifeline. Canceled out.
Oh man. Okay, I have to. No. So many great main event matches that you have to pick from over the years. I mean, you can go back to WrestleMania 6. I'm not saying it's my pick, but Warrior and Hogan, with their match that they had, was amazing. At that time, you didn't expect anybody to kick out of Hogan's leg drop or Warrior's slam and splash afterwards.
Warrior splash, yeah.
Do it. So that was the tide turning event. So that's definitely one that would have to be up there. But I think I'd have to go with Taker and Shawn Michaels too. That one would have to be my favorite. I know a lot of people really enjoyed the first one. Not sure I've actually seen the first one they had at WrestleMania 25, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something I need to go back and watch if I haven't watched it yet. I just thought WrestleMania 26, the end of Shawn's career, it blew my mind pretty much, that match.
The reverse streak, that was huge.
Yep. I'd have to pick that one, though. My favorite Mania main event.
Likewise, mine is a Taker match, but it is not with Shawn Michaels. It's the one that sometimes seems to be forgotten with Triple H, the first one.
Right? That wasn't a main event, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you want to get in.
That was a question. It was a main event.
You fucking got me. But that's probably my favorite WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Let's see. Top 3 best in the yard matches of all time.
Damn. I know I said that a lot, but can I pick 3?
And keep in mind, these since the first one of Halloween Hell, these are all from Mr. McDonald.
Oh, okay. So tough to pick.
I could play that music if you do.
No, that would be rather annoying. Just trying to think of all the matches from each event too. I would have to say Kim and Drew would have to be up there in one of those top 3, in my opinion, from Best in the Yard too.
Oh yeah, I was there for that. That was great.
Right. I have to put it in there. Not necessarily because of the wrestling aspect, but just the overall emotion and everything that went into it. I got to put Mike and Rick in there from last year. I mean,
okay, trust me, that hit home.
Right. So I guess that if I was doing it in order, it'd have to go that number 3 and then number 2. Number 1 though. So many.
I know mine. Do you know yours?
I've never really thought about it, to be honest with you. Um, I I think I'd have to go with Zach and Yankee actually from last year in the main event.
Okay.
I mean,
Hell
those
yeah.
two guys gave it their all and then some, leaning into it and in the actual match. So I think those would have to be my top three right now.
Awesome choices. I don't think mine might ever change because I was so fucking close to the action between Big Time Mike and Dirty DeChico.
Oh yeah, that one was a very good match
Great
too.
match. Holy shit. All right. Oh, you son of a bitch. Who
Uh-oh.
will win in a match? The Disease of Jason Atlas or The Last Emotion Novin?
Who would win?
Still coming from Vaughn McDonald.
Sorry to tell you, but I got to go with the last emotion Novin on that one.
Yeah, well, I might upset you.
Yeah,
Don't worry. I'll mail him.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would.
All right, got
Whoop.
one more anonymous question, and then we're gonna go back to my questions. Favorite backyard wrestling and pro finishers. One of each. You can only pick one of each.
Okay, that's gonna take some thinking. So many guys, honestly, in backyard wrestling have changed their finishers, especially lately. Um, Let me do the pro wrestling one because that one's easy. Undertaker's Tombstone Pile Driver. Always has been, always will be, I think.
All right.
Um, which for backyard wrestling wise means it's not my favorite, but the Last Rites Tombstone from Novin, of course, has to be up there. I think for backyard wrestling wise, I have to choose the Big Time Ankle Lock from Big Time Mike.
Over
Just,
the headhunt, you are fucking insane. You know how innovative that move is?
sorry, but I mean, the way Mike puts that ankle lock on anybody and everybody, it's just, in my opinion, it's even better than Kurt Angle's ankle lock can be at times. So,
Yeah, I've been in it.
right?
Holy shit. Give me 1 second.
Yep, I'm going to answer some questions off the chat group.
Awesome.
Riley Bates asked, what past match would I want to referee in? Big Time Mike versus Rick Rios, Yankee versus Zach Daniels, or Cage versus CJE from last year's Best in the Yard? Those all three would be amazing to referee. I
Weird. Nobody was
think.
there.
What's that?
Nobody was at my door. Yeah, somebody knocked on the door and nobody was there.
Gotcha. I think out of those three matches from Best of the Yard last year, I would have to referee. Ooh, I don't know. That's tough. I don't know that I'd want to referee Mike and Rick because of what happened at the end of it, but I think Yankee and Zach would have been fun to be the referee of. That's what I think I'd have to pick. Because I think I'd be too caught up between Cam and Cage to referee that match. Oh, Yankee mentioned that he got the pleasure to meet Alice Taylor at Grimm's Toy Show and says he's awesome. Okay, let's see if I got backwards on some of these, lost some of them, so I'm going to try and catch up here real quick.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
What the hell?
Oh, no, I think he was talking about Robbie E, actually, not Ellis Taylor at that point. I forgot Robbie E was there. Oh, FDN asked, which might be a question somebody asked you to have asked me, I don't know, but asked me what my favorite WrestleMania event of all time was. That's tough. I think it's close between 19 and 22. 22 partially because I've seen it several times and I own it. 19 was just such a great event, in my opinion, overall. Oh, Brian had a match with Sheamus in the Indies. Nice. Who's Double J? Well, really? Oh. That's interesting, Busboy. I think I might have came close, but I don't know that I shed a tear from watching it. I think it was very close if I didn't. But I know I was kind of expecting Mike to lose that match. Was the only reason I think that I didn't cry from it. But I can tell you, it did bring tears to my eyes a little bit when I first heard that Daniel Bryan was retiring. So, and Edge, for that matter. I did pick one, Riley. Least favorite backyard wrestling and pro wrestling finishers? Damn. So, that one's tough. I don't know if I can answer that one. No, actually, I think I can. Mojo Rawley's finisher. I don't even know what the crap they call it. I think that's my least favorite pro wrestling finisher, honestly. Backyard wrestling wise, I don't really know that I have one. Trying to think who's got one that I don't like. I might get back to that one. I'll think about it. And if I happen to come up with an answer, I'll give you one later. Oh, Lord.
Hello. Dong have a question.
Of course, Dong do.
In Jason Harris's house. And why you ducking me, Tiger?
Who's ducking you?
You ducking me. Best in the Yard. You know what? If you can't get to Best in the Yard, Dong will send you yen, or you could come to Ultimate Redemption. There's multiple options, but you and me, one-on-one, right there.
You and me, one-on-one.
Right there.
I don't know about that, but I think you might have a little point there. Best in the Yard's not going to happen. However,
redemption. Dong is going to get redemption for everything you put me through.
I put you through?
You put me through it all. You're the reason I got evicted from Yankee's house in his basement, and you know it.
Yankee doesn't even have a basement from what I've been told, but okay.
I'm going to groove Frosted Flakes on my junk, and I'm going to boom, boom, Bronco Buster. I'm going to humiliate you in front of everybody in the world.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. That would never happen. I wouldn't let it. But perhaps, we'll see.
Oh, you on. Oh, you coming out of the bathroom. Oh, shit.
Ultimate Redemption might be an option.
How the hell did you get in my house? Oh, shit.
Take him out, Jason. Out trash.
Ah! Babe, call the cops.
Ooh, that's an interesting question. So as Atlas is trying to get back control of his house, FDN asks, who do I think will win in a match between the Crowfield Demon, Jason Walker, or the Last Emotion, Nobin? That one is very tough to choose. Jason Walker, excuse me. Jason Walker has never lost a crossover event until last year at Best in the Yard 2, where he got put through a table by Arnold to end his streak. So since Arnold was able to take the streak away from him, I think I'd have to go with Novin beating Jason Walker.
How the hell does he know where I live?
I have no idea, Jason.
Locking my door. Cops are on their way. That goop's going to jail.
Good. It's where he deserves to be.
I'm sorry, Tony. I apologize. This is supposed to be professional, and
shit.
you got stupid jobber gooks sneaking in through my window.
Sneaking in and issuing challenges and throwing challenges out there. Jeez.
He challenged you? Is he serious?
Yes. I think so. He wants me to come to Ultimate Redemption since I'm not going to make it to Best in the Yard.
Well, I'll be at Ultimate Redemption. I'll help you. Don't worry, I got your back.
Might have to take you up on that.
Absolutely. And I'm sure H2 won't mind dropping an elbow or two.
Oh, I'm sure.
Putting him in that beast bite. Make him humble.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sorry for I had to use the bathroom and all of that. What did I miss? Catch me up. I know we got some we had some questions from the
Yep. I was just answering a couple questions here. One was what match would have liked to be the referee of from Best in the Yard last year. Mike and Rick, Yankee and Zach, or Cage and Cam, which I said Zach and Yankee I think I'd pick. Let's see. A lot of it was people just mainly talking about matches that Daniel Bryan's had that I haven't seen. Oh, another question was what my favorite WrestleMania was of all time. I said, for me, it would have to be between 19 and 22, really. Or 17 is what I meant to say. I did say 19, but 17 and 22. 22 because I've seen it several times and I own it. 17 because, well,
Rock.
Absolutely. So many other great matches that happened there.
Oh, yeah.
And the last question that I was just answering was who would win between Crowfield Demon, Jason Walker, or the Last Emotion Novin. And as I said, since Arnold, of all people, ended Jason's streak at Best in the Yard last year, I think I'd have to go with Novin. Yeah, that's all the questions right now. So
let me take you back to my questions because we haven't been there in a while.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of the show. Here's a chain of questions, all backyard wrestling.
Okay.
I want to hear your predictions for Backyard Wrestling 2018. What's it going to look like? Do you see any new world champions for the first time in any companies?
Ooh, good question.
Oh, they're coming.
I'm sure.
To me now this is the hard hitters. These are the Babe Ruths.
So I think a lot of things are going to change in backyard wrestling this year, or YouTube wrestling, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
For the better, I'm hoping. As for, I'm going to go by company here since he asked me about new world champions.
Yeah.
Going to name a few. I think in NWF Adrenaline, Tommy Zachary is eventually going to be their world heavyweight champion before the end of 2018.
And he's never been it before, right?
He's never been their champion before, no.
All right, I love underdogs.
Right? In BCW, which is the other Michigan-based company that Mark Williams is part of, I see a lot of things happening there. Mikey Nitro is going to make a storm between both of those companies because he's working in both companies, in my opinion. And I think they've got a guy. I just drew a blank on his name. Shame on me. They've got several guys that are newer in there right now that are amazing and have done a lot of good things for them. I just think that both of those companies are going to get hopefully more support than what they have had, and they're going to rise towards the top of the backyard community. But yeah, a lot of good things there. I can't pick anybody specific that I think will be world champion by the end of 2018 there. Let me move into your company, though, that you're a part of, UWE. So many of you guys.
Remember the show you're on, motherfucker.
Yep. So many of you guys, newer guys, haven't had the greatest of opportunities, in my opinion, that I think you guys will get those opportunities more than likely this year. Honestly, with what we've seen from Ustala last year, him ending ended up beating Everett Creed at Endgame. I could easily see Ustalo going on to win the World Heavyweight Championship in UWE at some point this year.
His year ended at an all-time high, definitely.
Agreed. But on the other spectrum of that there's that word again, right?
Please let Yankee be in the chat. Or at least
I don't know if he still is, but Rick Rios is the current UWE World Champion, which everybody knows. Look at the year that he had last year. I mean, in UWE, not only that, but ending Big Time Mike's career. And even now, he's NUW, one half of the NUW Tag Team Champions. So,
and look how he's starting off 2018. He's watching the Jersey Shore. Is that what you're going to invest in? Come on.
Yes, Rick. But no, anyway.
Ricky's my boy. Be honest with you, he just he came over last week and helped me paint the baby's room. He's one of the greatest guys I've ever met.
Right. But anyway, my point is, Rick Rios is the current World Heavyweight Champion, and the role he's been on, I think it's going to take several months probably into the season before he loses that World Heavyweight Championship. Now, again, like I said, I don't know if it will be or not, but I think Ustalo might be the person to take it from him at some point. If he can stay on track with what he ended the year last year with, not necessarily how he started this year with the loss to you thanks to Everett Creed. He's got to get Creed in his back door before get him out of his rear view anyways, before he can move on.
You can't count out that extra little feature that we have added on to our roster with a couple NUW guys who are like real official roster members. You got to take a look at them too. And I don't know if you ever noticed this, but two people that never faced off ever in UWE. That's Rick Rios and me.
True.
So we don't know.
Yeah, that's very true. We don't. And I've heard there's going to be some other people that will be debuting in UWE this year too, so I'm interested in seeing what'll happen there.
Shit, you might know more than I do.
It was like Jack Thomas, I think, mentioned something about it on the episode that aired last night. So.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
But this continues the question. We went into the World Champions for the first time in any company. I'm also going to throw in: do you see any retirements happening or companies folding? Particular superstars debuting in other companies for the first time. You can answer that in any order you want to. And I'll repeat it if you need.
I think I'm good. Man, it's tough to think about. Don't really want to think about it. But as for companies folding or quitting or ending by the end of the year, I hope none. That's got to be my answer to that. But
yeah, we only want to grow. We don't want to.
Right. If one did, some people might not like me saying this answer, especially after what happened last week. But let me explain why I say it. I really see would be VTW. The reason behind me saying that isn't anything to do with my show from last week. Just seeing recently how those guys, a lot of the guys from there, are now going into the indies and doing their own indie things in their area. Are they going to have time to do both all the time? Or is it something, I know they've still got the VTW Academy that's coming out too.
I was going to say, you might even need to have faith in the young guys to keep it alive.
Maybe.
When the older guys are ready to hang up the hat. And that almost kind of pertains to the retirement question in a sense.
Right. Speaking of retirements.
We thought we had a Drew Hood retirement.
Yeah, and I'd have to go with Drew. I mean, he said he retired last year and Cam pulled him back in, whatever you want to call it. But
man, I feel like he's going to fuck with my emotions this year. He's going to retire more times than Ric Flair.
Yeah, that could happen. That very well could happen. Now, Drew would be one person I honestly wouldn't be too surprised by the end of the year. You see him retiring and actually making a career of his own in wrestling, pro wrestling. But I think if he is to retire, that should be the reason why, is because he's actually got something going on with his indie career.
Yeah, good point.
Past him, there's really only one other guy I think that might hang up his boots by the end of the year, and that'd be Cam. I mean, just think the FTC could all be retired by the end of the year, unfortunately, but he's got a lot of things indie going as well and other things going as well. So
yeah.
Beyond that, who knows? There could be several people that do retire, but
yeah, sometimes you got to look at the older guys too.
Yeah, that's true.
Old, but I'm not going anywhere right now.
Right. I mean, heck, even Everett Creed, you never know if he's going to be there the whole year. Is engaged and going to be married to Angelique Stark. Who knows if they'll want to keep going past this year, especially when came close to ending UWE last year. So.
Oh yeah, God bless him, man.
But yeah. What was the other part of the question?
We got particular superstars debuting in another company for the first time.
Oh,
you already seen a couple.
Yeah, we've seen a couple. And we know you guys, the three of you, are going to be debuting. You and Ustalo and Revan are going to be debuting in NUW.
Well, as what we are, but single-handedly.
Oh, right.
I've done the Backyard Rumble. I've done Gauntlet match. Rest in peace, Tycoon Mikado.
I agree. I'll get to that comment here in a moment too, because that is quite interesting. Man, there's so many with Proving Ground out there too that you see so many people debut in there, pop up in there. It's tough to pick people.
I love Proving Ground. It's the element of surprise, man.
Right? Yeah, I know it. I enjoy it very much too.
And I've been hearing so much hype about Proving Ground this year. It's not going to be the NXT of backyard wrestling. It is going to be it's going to be a grand showcase. It's going to be a really big platform this year. So look out for Proving Ground, man.
Right. But no, I think you're actually going to see some of these guys from here in Michigan, for that matter. A Mark Williams, a Jason Page, H2, pop up possibly in UWE, possibly in NUW. I highly doubt in another region, but in those two companies especially. I've heard rumors and rumblings that there's going to be a King of the Yard too, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunch of people pop up around Newburgh for that. So
yeah.
And I also heard there might be even more people in that than what was last year. But possibly. They haven't decided. But still. If I had to pick any person in particular, I don't know that I could besides who I mentioned already. So I don't mention DBW much. I mean, I'd be interested in seeing even more guys. Seeing like maybe an Everett Creed pop up in DBW.
Oh yeah, you never know, man. You never know. Right. We already we started the pipeline.
Yeah.
So anything could happen there.
I mean, you could see UWE and DBW crossover event at some point. Who knows?
Imagine seeing like Mr. Judgment go against Dirty the Chico.
Oh yeah.
Who wouldn't want to see that match?
Right.
You know?
You can say even see Judgment pop up in UWE for that matter. That would be awesome.
Yeah. We could see Casey James versus Ustala. We could see former Phoenix versus new Phoenix.
Sure.
Sure, Ustala would put him in the ground, almost as quick as I would. But let's not go there. Oh, I already went there. Hope you're watching. So, what's the greatest moment? All right. What is the greatest moment in backyard wrestling that literally made you say, holy shit?
Oof. I hate to go back to
this moment. It's nobody else's. It's yours. That gave you that reaction.
Right. Yeah. But no, I hate to go back to it, but I have to. The only one moment that sticks out in my head, in my mind for that, where I actually said, oh, holy shit, and was surprised by it, even though I was expecting it, was Rick Rios beating Big Time Mike at Best in the Yard last year and ending Mike's career.
Yeah.
I can't really pick anything over that.
No, you've got my permission to use that twice.
Right?
It happened to me too. So very greatly answered. And now this is where everybody watches and sits on your answer. Who was your favorite guest on Tiger Talks?
Oh, should I tell him right away or not? I mean,
Yeah, give it some suspense.
so
Play
many.
around with it because I feel like you know already.
Oh, I do. I do know my answer to that one. So many great guys I've had on here. Let me list a few that I won't pick as the person, but
Honorable mentions, yeah.
yes, honorable mentions. I'll start with you for one, because
Thanks.
you were a great guest on here. Ustala was fun to have on here. Even though a lot of people probably don't care for him, Everett Creed was fun to have on here as well.
Well, he's a good talker, I'll give him that.
Right?
A long one, but a good one.
I can't go without mentioning the very first person that was on Tiger Talks Wrestling, Jamal Payne. He was very fun to talk to. I always enjoy talking to Dustin Reagan and D-Lock.
Those are my guys.
But no, when I have to pick one person that was my favorite to be on here, it'd come between three different guys. I'll tell you that.
Fun. You know it's got to be one.
I'm going to pick just one.
All right.
I was just telling you, it'd be one of those three. But the other two, some people are going to hate one of them, but I don't care. One of them is the guy that I had on here for the very first live episode, which was Big Time Mike.
Hey.
Now, the other person is the one that'll be, people probably won't care to hear, but it actually has to be Mark Williams. And it's not just because of what he did last week. I've just enjoyed having him on here, even when I had him and Jason together. But number one, and it shouldn't be too much of a surprise, I've mentioned this guy earlier, so it has to be Mr. Fuego del Sol himself, Cage. I can't pick anybody but Cage, to be honest.
What's your favorite backyard wrestler, man? Like, come
Right.
on.
There's a reason I've got it. Well, I don't have a Cage shirt, but I got a KBW shirt and I got a couple Fuego shirts. So,
Fuck yeah.
and I plan on getting me that new one too, because that new shirt, pretty awesome.
Yeah, like I said before, Cage made that experience for me at Reunion Rumble.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine.
Like, it was funny. I don't mean any disrespect by this. You know, if you end up seeing this, Cage. But I didn't realize he'd be so short. So, I'll tell it like this. You know, we all met up, the night before the big event, and it was dark out, the VTW grounds. And some guy, leans in and gives me a big hug. And, hey, Atlas, how you doing, man? Good to see you. And I go, who the fuck is this? I look over, I'm like, holy shit, it's Cage.
All right. Nice.
I marked out after feeling bad that I didn't realize it was him. Oh, but holy shit, that was great.
Now, after that, I want to get back to the comments here real quick.
Yeah, go for it. I'm just moving over there for a second. I'm not leaving yet.
So Riley Bates said, if this happened, if Kenny Omega gave you a Bullet Club shirt, would you take the offer and join the Bullet Club or shove it and attack Kenny? Easy. I'd take the Bullet Club shirt.
Always take the Bullet Club shirt.
Right? Busta Boy says...
Shirt under here?
Is that?
So would you think there was a dress shirt under there?
Maybe. Busta Boy says, I'm about to throw a name in the retirement hat no one would ever expect. I predict that Dirty DeChico will retire this year. I hope not. He says, I hope he doesn't, but I sense he will.
I fucking won't let him. You tell whoever said that shit that I won't let him. He brought me into the company. I'm not letting him get out. He's going to be doing this shit till he's 80.
Nice.
Old man DeChico.
Right? JJ, the Pitbull Cordero's in the chat, says, hey guys, what's up? Good to see you, JJ. Thanks for joining.
JJ, what's up, bro?
Bustboy said, I also predict that this is going to be the year of TJ.
Bullshit. They fucking took my title. Exposed me.
Yep.
Ugh.
JJ says, I got one more question. Would you want to match with the Pitbull? Frankly, no, because I'm not a wrestler. No.
Well, let's paint the picture.
Let's
give you all the attributes. Let's say you were a wrestler. You were Tony the Tiger. Your gimmick, everything.
Sure.
You come out to Eye of the Tiger. You're standing across from JJ the Pitbull Cordero. Could you picture it?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta play with your mind a little bit to make fans happy.
So Buster Boy says, my holy shit moment was when Dirty said I quit.
That was my second. It was my first until Best in the Yard 3.
All right. I answered Riley's. Okay. That's all the questions so far in the chat at the moment.
All right. My question stems a little bit deeper than a question that somebody pretty much stole from me, Busta Boy. I believe it was Busta Boy who stole it. If not, it was probably someone else. Top 5 backyard wrestling finishing moves. That way, you're not limited to just one. We know you're number 1 now. Let's hear you list the other 4.
Oh, shit. I'd have to throw H2's Beast Bite in there for one of them. I mean, you don't see submissions that often really in backyard wrestling, if I'm being honest here. And just that move is so... I haven't seen it. I've seen it live.
Especially ones that end the match.
Right. But man, I can just tell from people I've talked to that have been in it that move is a pain to get out of. Besides that, I guess I'd have to put it up there because everybody pretty much would. But in the top 5 finishers in backyard wrestling, how can you not put the Black Toad Splash in there?
Okay. After party.
At the Marriott.
That's right.
Well, with the big time ankle lock is number 1. Got 2 more to pick, huh?
You do.
You're not gonna like it, but I'm not gonna put the headhunt in there. Sorry.
Huh?
Said you're not gonna like it, but I'm not putting the headhunt in there as top 5.
Okay.
Sorry.
This is. You are the guest here.
I would have to go. Man, that's tough.
You have the right to your own opinion.
Sure. No, I actually think one of them would have to be. You haven't really seen it that much because he's not around. KBW's not around that much anymore. But Cage's DDT that he would do out of like a fireman's carry. I really enjoyed watching that all the time.
Yeah, I love that.
I know it was something that he used closer towards the end of KBW, but I thought it was a great move. For that matter, you could say the headshot from AK-47, but no, I'm not picking that one either. Seeing JJ's name here, and I'd be remiss if I don't mention the lockjaw because I think that's a great move that he uses too. So I think that would be the other one in there.
Did we just nail all 5?
What's that?
Did we just nail all 5?
That's 5, yep.
All right. All right. I think I know your answer to this one after talking to you for a while. I think we've passed the hour mark, and I've gotten to know a little bit more about Tony the Tiger. But your favorite backyard wrestling company of all time, and I think I know who it is. So I'm going to make you name a second, going off the question book.
Now, a lot of people would expect me to say KBW. I'm not going to say KBW.
That's not what you were going to say.
What's that?
That's not who I thought you were going to say, but go ahead.
Oh, I figured it probably was. And I'm not picking either one of the 2 Michigan companies either, to be honest with you. So.
Oh, well, then now you just threw me the fuck off. So you only have to pick one.
To be honest with you, it was BTW. However, more recently, I would have to say no. I'd have to say NUW. Navon gets a lot of shit for the fact that they're quite a ways behind from what they taped, but still, those guys put on such a hell of a product for everybody to watch. And the way that you see it, the editing from The Dark Side, for one instance, just is amazing. The whole product in itself is amazing. And then, as mentioned, I believe on Twitter last night or somewhere, they were the first company that you really seen use a wrestling ring. And we've seen so many that have come since then. It's just their product just feels full and complete to me in a way. So NUW would have to be my answer.
Well, you can't mention one underground without mentioning the other, who's
True.
been killing it on a trampoline.
I really enjoy UWE as well, but still, I got to put NUW over UWE.
I had to put it out there for my guys.
Yep, I don't blame you.
We all got our home team, Tony.
Right? NWF Adrenaline would be up there, but not number one.
All right. Now we're gonna go to the next question, where we're tippy-toeing towards the big ones.
Are we not?
Take me through your experience watching Halloween Hell, and what did you think of that vignette?
Take you through the experience, huh? I knew from a spoiler from you that something was going on between the three of you. I didn't realize
that. Say that on here now, should we?
Too bad. I just did. I'm throwing you under the bus, bud. But no, I didn't know where it was going to happen, if it was in UWE or NUW, because you didn't specify that. So
I didn't give that much out. Give you a teaser.
Right. No, I think that vignette was very good. I will give you that much. Don't know who put it together, if one of you three guys did or somebody else did, but
I ain't telling you shit anymore.
I'm sure you're not. I do drop beans sometimes, so not very often, but no, I thought it looked very good, and I think it makes it look like you guys are going to be a real threat towards pretty much anybody that steps in your way.
Damn right. And I think you really talked about your experience on Halloween Hell. Mm-hmm. Navon kind of took care of that one. So we'll go to here's a question that just kind of struck me out of nowhere, and I knew I had to ask it. The future goals for Tiger Talks Wrestling.
Ooh. Good question. I haven't really sat down and wrote any out or thought about it, to be honest with you, but I've had so many big name guys on here already. I can tell you there's a couple guys that I want to get on here that I haven't yet, so that's one goal.
You got to keep lighting the tunnel, otherwise you're stuck in the dark.
Right. No, two guys that I really want to get on here that I haven't yet are Zach Daniels and AK-47. Talked to both of them, and just waiting on whenever they're available, pretty much.
Right, you still never got Zach on.
What I'd like to be able to say at some point is that I've had people on from just about every company that you can think of under the stars, pretty much. Not necessarily every company all over the world, but all the companies that are more well-known around this area, which I think I've done a pretty good job of that. You see guys on here from DBW, VTW, NUW, UWE, NWF, BCW, LCW, Proving Ground. Speaking of, there will be another Proving Ground guy on here in a couple weeks. I want people. Another goal is something that I've tried working with recently, or not recently, but since the beginning, just about, that I still want to keep working on, is getting people more interactive with the show. I really enjoy that people are in the chat section and comment and stuff on there. I was try to get.
Say, I'm talking to you guys right now. Let's hear something for Tony. You guys are the fans. You guys are the viewers. You're basically what makes Tiger Talks Wrestling possible. So, what do you guys want to see going forward for Tiger Talks Wrestling? What do you want to see to make it that you want to get more involved, that you don't want to miss a single episode? because it's that groundbreaking edge. Let us know, please. Tony is definitely probably ready to read that shit right now.
Very much so. Waiting to see what people say. Between that and getting people to get the likes, but I don't get comments on any of the videos hardly at all. I don't get people saying anything about it after we're off the air on Twitter or anything like you see things from Backyard Wrestling wise. Adam Anderson, not gonna see a cooking show segment, so fuck off. Sorry, had to get that one out there since he popped up there. Busta Boy says, how about a round table? That's another thing. I do want to do a round table type show at some point. I have talked about it. I've mentioned things about it on Twitter before. I want to get more variety of shows out there, which I kind of I'm trying to get more people to see if they're available to work with me to work on some of these projects, but people are busy with stuff too, like I am, so. Riley Bates got something for you, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Get into it shortly. But yeah, it's just I want to get more out there and get more involved in the community if possible, pretty much. Have it become... Cameron Jackson himself actually said at one point that he would like to see Tiger Talks Wrestling become what BYW Fix used to be. I don't know that I'd go that far, but I would like to be a place that everybody wants to come to, I guess, in a way. What's that?
Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Yeah, sure, that. But no, I get more people. I think I get about half and half of people asking me to be on the show and me asking them. In a way, I'd kind of like to get it more so 90% being asked myself than asking people, but I don't know. Yeah, that's just a future goal at some point, I think.
I feel like that is something that comes with time and continue to build your show up further. Because look how far you've come from when you started already, Yeah,
I mean, I've only been going since August of last year, and I've already got 118 subscribers, so.
You got to look at that and draw a little Venn diagram for yourself with the chart.
Right?
That you've went up, and you can only go up if you continue to set goals for yourself. And that's why I wanted to ask you that question. Because if you don't have goals, then you're going to plateau. And you don't want Tiger Talks Wrestling to plateau.
No, I don't know. Now, there is a couple more things. I want to have... I've thought about it and talked to Justin about it. I want to have a Tiger Talks Wrestling shirt made at some point, for one, which might be distributed, might not be, but it might just be a one-person only shirt. I don't know. It's something I'll have to talk to people about and see if there's any interest there. But another thing is there's supposed to be somebody working on one other thing that I want to incorporate into the show as well. That's actually having an opening video for this show. You guys see... Currently, I didn't use it here because this is Atlas Talks Wrestling, not Tiger Talks Wrestling. You see, I have a little short video where you see the Tiger Talks Wrestling logo and H2 saying, wow, live from Muskegon, Michigan. It's Tiger Talks Wrestling, ring bell. I want something even more than that. And somebody's supposed to be working on that. I haven't really heard from him lately, but somebody you know quite well. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'll talk to you after the show about some people you can go to for editing and really
add in the greatest when it comes to editing stuff. So, but I do want to get more creative with some of the shows too. That makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I got a couple other things in the comments, so I'll get to those here real quick before we move on to anything else. I'll ask you this because I know he likes to put it in there a couple times if I don't ask real quick. So Riley Bates has a question aimed towards you. Which spot would you do? Have Yankee push you off a roof onto a car? Have your head get smashed into a ladder by Cage? Have the big time ankle lock? Or get pinned by a jobber?
Big time ankle lock's in the last place.
Right?
Yeah. Best in the Yard 2 weekend, facing Big Time Mike multiple times. and Navan on top of that. Couldn't walk for 3 fucking days, so count me out of the big time ankle lock.
Understandable.
I'm Jason motherfucking Atlas, so put getting pinned by a jobber right before that.
Right?
You know what? You ain't seen nothing yet with Atlas going hardcore. You know, you saw the Trailer Park Brawl. You saw the first ever hardcore match main event on Proving Ground with Casey James. But there's way more to come, and I'd love to show the world how hardcore I am. And Yankee pushed me off the fucking roof. You know, I'll land on a car. Then Cage could come over and smash my head with the ladder into the car. And
Nice.
and then a jobber could come over and pin me while I'm completely fucked up and unconscious. And then Big Time could finally put the Big Time ankle lock on me because I'll be knocked out so I can't feel anything.
There you go.
In that order.
Right?
So thanks for that question. That was interesting. That was fun.
Yeah, Riley comes up with some interesting ones. So Adam Anderson, I can't answer that question because I haven't seen, you might not have heard yet, but I haven't seen Total Domination 3 yet, other than the Battle Royal. That's the only thing I've watched from the show so far. I've been way too busy with other things to sit down and watch 4 hours of DPW. Sorry. It's
good thing I didn't spoil anything else. Oh man. I
already know
see the whole show.
I already know who won many of the matches, but because of things you see on Twitter, among other places. However, yeah. Riley Bates says something about loves the show day in and day out. I don't know what you said before that, so I don't know what you're talking about. A couple people said they'd buy the shirt.
Hey, there you go. You already got sales.
Yeah, right. Scorpions in the chat room says Tiger Talks. Atlas, one of the best right here.
My man.
All right, that's it for the chat so far. For right now, whatever. So go on.
It was a pleasure meeting Scorpion, getting to meet him and some other guys that I never thought I'd ever run into. I just thought I'd end up watching them on my phone.
Right.
That includes Mr. Judgment himself, Little High Flying Blaze, the whole Brothers Creed. Never thought I'd get to meet any of them. But I'm going to shut the fuck up now because this isn't my interview. Okay, so do you have any Best in the Yard dream matches?
Ooh, any matches that man, there's so many matches that you could pick to have take place at Best in the Yard that you haven't seen.
Imagine you got a pen and a notebook and you get to write your own Best in the Yard. And it could be anyone.
Man, that's tough. Now I'd have to say one match I'd love to see. Before AK-47 has never gotten a singles match at Best in the Yard for one thing. I would love to see him get that opportunity. I think it'd be interesting to see him go one-on-one with Drew Hood.
Wow. Yeah, that would be good.
Right?
Yeah.
That is one match I think would be awesome.
Keep talking. They might let you book the next Best in the Yard 5.
I doubt that, but still.
Yeah.
I just think that would be an incredible match between those two. I think just think of the promos that those two would put on leading into it, for that matter. They both can talk for days on end. So
yeah.
I just think it'd be an awesome main event for a Best in the Yard. Man, there's so many guys that have been there and haven't been there yet that you could pick from to put in a match at Best in the Yard. But I think that would have to be my one main dream match I would love to see, I think, at Best in the Yard, though. Would be Drew and AK.
Tell everybody again, just in case anyone's just signing on now.
Drew Hood versus AK-47. Book that one. Book it.
Now, would you want to see it as a regular match, or would you want to add a stipulation to it?
I think it put it a straight up match, singles match, 1-on-1. No,
Right.
no need for a stipulation for those two.
Yeah. Oh, no way.
I mean, yes, it's nice to see stipulations for AK, so you can use that stop sign and obey the law, but you don't have to have a stipulation for those two. That just screams best in the yard main event to me without a stipulation to it.
So I had dream matches or predictions down. Do you have any predictions, matches that haven't been announced yet that you think are going to happen this year at Best in the Yard?
Well, let me start off with one that you will be involved at Best in the Yard this year with one Casey James. There's the one that's. Gee, I don't know why I think that one. Another one that looks like it's going to happen, Mr. Judgment and Aaron Jones.
Cool, if that happens.
Uh,
Front row.
right? I've heard rumblings and rumors that there could be a possible triple threat match at Best in the Yard between Yankee the Difference Maker and Jackson Hendricks and one other person who hasn't been seen much, Evan Blake. So
Jack Hendricks is somebody I haven't really heard much from in a little while.
right?
So both of them.
Yeah, I don't. Jason Walker, sorry, Alice. Jason Walker and Everett Creed, I have a feeling is going to end up being a match there as well.
A lot of people are saying he's not coming out of retirement.
We'll see.
For Creed, not for anybody.
We'll see.
I guess we will, because
I still say it's going to happen.
I'm starting to think you know more than me in some of this. As we go on, I feel like you know more than me in some things. You're getting the real inside scoop, and I'm getting.
So there's one other match that I think is going to happen in some way, shape, or form, or something is going to happen. I think the FTC is going to be meeting in some way, shape, or form. Drew, Mike, and Cam. I don't know whether it be a triple threat match, a handicap match, a 6-man tag match, or what, but I just have a feeling those three guys are going to be in the same ring together at some point at Best in the Yard.
So you're saying they could reform?
No, I don't see that happening.
Okay.
I think Mike's going to be on the
6-man tag, so I automatically assumed.
Yeah, I was thinking if it's a 6-man tag, Mike's going to have two other partners.
Oh.
And Cam will have another partner of their own.
That's a
I'd be surprised to see that person being Kevin Shaw for that matter. They seem kind of buddy as of late.
That would shock. Well, I mean, his turn from PG to what he is now, that took me by storm. So
took me by surprise too. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting.
I have no idea. All right, do you have any more Best in the Yard dream matches? Because if not, we can move on to the next one.
Man, I could probably list off several if I wanted to think about it, but no, off the top of my head, I'd just go with that one.
Okay. It was a good one.
Right.
Before we get to our last two questions, do we have anything in the chat?
Yeah, there's a couple things in here. I'm going to go with his off-the-wall question first before I go with his actual good question, the dark side. Have you ever tasted the milk from a goat's teat? No.
Motherfucking dark side.
Right. And he asked, what's my favorite match on the card for WrestleMania this year? It's a very good question. The answer, I have to go with AJ and Nakamura, to be honest with you. I haven't, unlike many people, I haven't actually seen their first match from New Japan. So to me, it's something brand new for me. And I just think that those two are going to put on a classic and probably steal the show. So
did Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. So then that's my answer to that one. There's a lot of them that are very good, in my opinion, matches. There's some that are not so good, but
I hate Roman Reigns like everybody else. But I really can't wait until Brock loses that belt so we can actually see it every week.
Right, yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, that's the only reason I'm looking forward to Roman beating Brock at WrestleMania is.
Then maybe Ronda Rousey could turn heel and Paul Heyman could start
managing her because she can't talk for shit, and he seems to cling to UFC fighters. So,
Well, I don't know that they'll turn Ronda heel though. I mean, you got to pay attention to the reactions she's been getting on Raw and the pay-per-view over the last several weeks.
it
She
depends
gets
what
one of the
city they're in.
loudest reactions out of everybody on Raw. So
Yes, put him in Philly, see what happens.
maybe. But anyway, a couple more. Riley Bates says, "What match would you do? Me versus CJE in a 3 Stages of Hell match, me versus Yankee and TJ Sakara in a handicap match, or me versus everyone in VTW and NUW?" Fuck no to that last one.
This kid wants to die. He has a death wish.
Right? God
What
damn.
company is he from? Because no offense, Riley, but I've never seen a single match or
I haven't really either.
content.
He's got his own company called SBW. I don't know that they've had. I think they have a match or two up, but
I was just curious.
yeah. Oh, he meant that towards you, not towards me.
Oh, he wants me to answer that.
Yeah.
I think
answer it too.
did. I've never seen you do anything, so it's hard to really even pick any
No,
of
he
that.
wanted you to pick between those 3 matches: you versus Cam in a
Me versus Cam in the 3 Stages of Hell.
or you versus Yankee and TJ in a handicap match, or you versus everyone in VTW and NUW.
Me versus everyone in NUW and VTW?
Or you versus Yankee and TJ.
No,
or
I heard that.
versus...
I just making sure I got the last one right.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'll fight everyone, but I gotta go with you know what? I've never had that one-on-one with Cam, you know? That one to cement what I'm really all about. Sometimes you gotta go through that household name to become one. You know? We all know who I'm talking about with one of the greatest legends of all time said, to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Woo!
Woo! 3 Stages of Hell, and I surprised myself saying that because that was actually a really good question, and I came really close to saying TJ and Yankee, and I had to really think about it.
That's what I would have had to pick. A couple more after that. JJ asks, do I think Daniel Bryan will be WWE champion again after his return? I hope so. I really hope so. I honestly don't know for sure, though. I don't know if I know he's only got limited dates, I believe. So I don't know if they will. I mean, Brock Lesnar's Universal Champion has been for over a year, so anything could happen.
Yeah, we all know Roman's losing, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan is coming back to win that title. Ho!
Oh!
Come on, JJ. You know this, man.
You're right. Scorpion says, honor is ours, Atlas. We are the fans. Tiger, keep up the good work. Good night. I gotta go. Got to get Ultimate Rebirth 2 finished. Good seeing you, Scorpion. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, brother.
And JJ says, I think Jason versus the Pitbull will be a drag-out fight.
Oh yeah, it'll be something. I might have to push you off a cell into a table and then powerbomb you onto some thumbtacks.
There you go. And Riley wants to know, says, sorry for the plug, but Jason, would you come to South Dakota and fight me in SBW, his company that he works in?
No, it's too cold. Next question.
Next question. Towards me.
Island. Think I'm gonna come to South Dakota and freeze my Atlas nuts off?
Right.
One man mosh nuts. Freezing.
Anyway, that's all from the chat section at the moment. So.
Well, it looks like we're gonna get down to from an anonymous person. We've got 2 questions left that I saved to the very end.
Okay.
I saved them for some very good reason. Here comes the first one. How many people we got watching at the moment?
4. That's what it says.
Fuck.
Yeah, you're right.
All
We
right.
had up to 9 at some point, so.
Well, pump that shit back up.
Well, it went down to 3, so.
Oh, great. Well, fuck you, whoever left. Do you think VTW getting a ring changed them in any way?
Ooh. Good question.
We're hooking you up to a polygraph as we speak.
Sure. Be straightforward with you. Did it change VTW in a way? Yes, it changed them for the better because being in a ring is better than being in a trampoline. Now, as for other aspects to it, I would say yes, but not necessarily in the greatest of ways. From what I've heard, I can't say no by person or in person or anything. I don't want to just say by people's hearsay, but I've heard that some people there have gotten a little bit bigger egos since they've changed over to a ring. So I'm not saying any names for anything or anything else. I think it's been a better product for the most part since they got a ring. So let me put it that way.
Okay. You have any more to share on that?
No, I think that's good enough.
Fair enough. Which brings me to the final question by the same anonymous person. Is the reason you brought Mark Williams onto the show as a surprise guest because you wanted to get more views and create controversy in the entire backyard wrestling community?
Easy answer. No. The reason I brought him on as a surprise guest is, as we both have stated, he knew, as did I put the name Mark Williams on there. Not as many people are going to watch or pay attention to what he had to say. He asked me for this opportunity, for that opportunity to come onto the show. He wanted the spotlight. He wanted the chance. He wanted me to put it as a surprise guest because he wanted to make sure people were going to tune in. Now, if anybody's being honest here, if I did put Mark Williams there, who's going to come in and watch the show or care what he had to say? Jason, you answer that question for me. Would you have cared if I just put Tiger Talks Wrestling with Mark Williams? Honestly.
I honestly, I saw the notification on my phone as I was coming home from something, and I tuned into the end of it, and you know what I said.
I know what you said.
Yeah.
But if
you fucking say it again.
All right. But if you see the notification saying it was Mark Williams there, would you have come in?
No, I fucking wouldn't.
Exactly. That's my point. That's why we did it the way we did. It was not for me to try and create chaos or whatever you want to call it in the backyard community. It was me giving a man the chance that he asked me for. And I said it on Twitter a couple times. I'll say it again here. Anybody else wants a chance to come on here and clear the air or try and give their side of the story? I'm more than happy to give them that opportunity. Just come and ask me. I don't care. I just wanted to have a guest on for the show. He happened to see what Hellhound had posted about trying to get the community together on Twitter, and he wanted the opportunity to give out his side of things because people were always asking what his problem was with the East Coast. So I gave him that opportunity. I mean, he knew I had the platform, so I gave him the platform. Plain and simple. If you need anything more of an explanation than that, then let me know. I'm not trying personally myself to bash on VTW. I know he partially was, but I have no ill will or feelings really towards VTW in the long run.
Yeah, like you said, Tony's not a hard person to get in touch with.
No, I don't know.
Twitter, message him, whatever. If you got any concerns, comments, questions, you could always ask him. He always answers my questions straight up, as you've seen tonight. you know, I'll come right forth that you know, the man behind the cape, I guess you could say, of Mr. Judgment. Um, I've grown very grown very close relationship with him as friends, and talked to him a lot. And you know, for Mark Williams to bash his son really got under my skin, as I'm 2 months away from being a father right now. So it really struck a nerve with me, and you know, I don't want. The only thing that's probably going to stop me is if like King of the Yard or um, I don't know, Proving Ground or something like that. If I ever see him face to face, the only thing that's going to stop me from beating his fucking face in is probably going to be prison. Because everybody's going to break it up. The cops always get called, but it's just like a really low piece of shit kind of thing to do. And if you're looking for a reaction out of people, yeah, you got one out of me, but you don't want one out of me. Trust me. Behind Jason Atlas is a very dangerous fucking person. That's my shoot. I'm going to leave it at that.
Into that, I'll give you a little bit of rebuttal. That was Mark Williams, yes, that said that. That's Mark Williams in character when he's saying stuff like that on Twitter. That's not the person, Eli, that's behind Mark Williams' character. But I understand where you're coming from as well.
Yeah. One comment I did laugh at as I was about to log off, and he mentioned I had a dad bod. That fucking killed me.
Yeah.
Especially as I'm just about to be a dad.
But yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I'd rather have a dad bod than the body of a 14-year-old Filipino girl. But anyway, I've come down to my last question. If we don't have anything else in the comments, do we?
Not at the moment. If they've got anything else, then go ahead and put it in there. But
yeah, guys, this is your last chance to questions, comments, anything. Tony will read them. He'll address them.
Besides that, while they're doing that, I'll guess I can plug the next show.
Absolutely.
Next week on this channel, Tiger Talks Wrestling will be back as usual next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The guest will be DBW's own Cyrus.
Yeah.
Will be here at Tiger Talks Wrestling. Now, before that, though, make sure you tune in tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Be doing an NXT TakeOver and WrestleMania prediction show. That should be fun. Have a few people lined up for that, but I'm not revealing who they are yet. I want to make sure that they're still good to go.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Tony. You'll have my participation and my eyes watching as you do all of that. Cyrus, TakeOver, WrestleMania. I'm down to get up in there.
Sounds good.
And to the viewers, I hope you are too. And please continue to tell Tony what you want to see on Tiger Talks Wrestling. What you guys have a lot of control. You might not know, but I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see Cyrus and prediction show.
So Riley Bates asked for both of us, Pepsi or Coca-Cola.
You go first.
I drink neither. I drink root beer, so I guess you'd say Pepsi because I drink mug.
Cherry Coke. Either one has to be cherry Pepsi and cherry Coke, but cherry Coke. So there you go, Riley. That was your final question. I'm glad you made it very good.
Well, I had another question too. Wait. If it were to happen, who would you like to do a BYW Hall of Fame, and who would be in it? Again, to both of us.
Ooh, that's good.
That'd be easy. It'd have to be Big Time Mike to go first into the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. First
person I'd put in the Hall of Fame is Wicked J.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'd definitely have to be one of the first ones, too.
Don't worry, Big Time. You're next.
Right.
I'd have to I'd actually have to put, I don't know how popular of an answer this is, but I'd have to put Sweet Savard in there.
Nice.
And hmm. You got any more? Because I'm still thinking.
No, not really. Not off the top of my head. So many guys that you could really put in there that have been a part of backyard wrestling that aren't now.
Yeah.
One person, some people might say you could put in is Bad Reed.
Bad Reed. I'd put D-Lock in there.
Right?
I don't give a fuck if he's still wrestling or not. He's a Hall of Fame for me, man.
I would put him in there too. So, but if you want to mention D-Lock, then I'd have to mention Dustin.
Yeah.
You'd have to. You couldn't have a Hall of Fame without putting Dustin Reagan in there at some point.
Dustin was on the tip of my tongue, and I was like, "Duh, E-Lock."
Right. That guy's another one of my favorites, besides Cage. And speaking of, that is another best in the yard dream match of mine as well. How could I not mention it? Dustin Reagan and Cage.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Right?
Holy shit! For that to happen,
Uh-huh.
I think the
Hey, they
ring would
both been talking
spontaneously combust.
Right? Busted Boy mentions, hell yeah, I'll be there watching 100%. Love your Tiger Talks shows, especially lately. There are so many people that deserve to be in the Backyard Wrestling Hall of Fame, to be honest.
So, as per the first and last, one time only Atlas Talks Wrestling, I personally want to thank everybody who's tuned in tonight, everybody who's dropped even a single comment, a question, everything. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, Tony. Thank you for giving me this platform to do this, to flip the camera on you.
Yeah. Well, we're not done quite
Speechless yet. A couple times.
A couple times, yes. Not too many, but Busted Boy says I'd put Wicked J, Big Time Mike, Cage, AK, 47 in Navon, and of course Bad Reed. Those guys paved the way for YouTube wrestling. Riley says you're welcome. So I gotta say, before we do finish this, thank you for agreeing to do it for one. It was of course your idea in the first place, but we had to run with it. I felt like it needed to be done at some point, as I had mentioned to you and I mentioned to a couple other people. This isn't something you see really on any podcast where the host gives somebody else a chance to interview them, hardly ever, if at all. I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows, but I don't think it's ever happened in backyard wrestling where the tables have been turned for a podcast or a talk show, whatever you want to call it. So
I can't correct you. I really don't think that this has ever happened before.
I just felt like I need to do something groundbreaking, something different. And this was planned before what happened last week. So if anybody thinks different or thinks that I just decided I needed to do this because of what happened last week, you're wrong. Because how long have we been planning this, Jason?
It's going over a month now.
Exactly. And Eli, Mark, whatever you want to call him, came to me like a week before him and I did the show. So that tells you that I've been planning this even before then. So
wow. Hey, this is what you asked me last time. Is there anything else you want to plug? Obviously Tiger Talks Wrestling.
Yeah, definitely tune in to Tiger Talks Wrestling. As mentioned, tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Got a few people lined up for the TakeOver and WrestleMania prediction show. Next week, Cyrus will be on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I was going to have him do it on Thursday, but seems how UWE decided they're going to do Thursday instead of Wednesday. We'll wait and do it on Friday. I do try to make it, if I know that BTW or any backyard wrestling company is going to have a show on a certain day, then I'll try not to do a Tiger Talks Wrestling on those days or at the same time anyways, if I do them the same day. Yeah. Past that, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that fun junk to the videos. Not that I ever get that stuff very often, but outside of the chat during the videos. But yeah.
Well, we're both hoping that definitely picks up real soon.
All right.
Let's see here.
And let me plug this one more time. I'll say it again. If anybody from VTW or any other company wants a chance to come on here and give their side of the story after what Mark Williams, Eli had to say last week, I'll gladly give you the opportunity to. If you don't want to do it on my show, I'm sure there's other people that'll give you the chance as well.
Yeah, I mean, if Eric Bischoff taught us anything, controversy
creates cash.
Controversy creates cash.
Exactly. If you got any other issues with me from it, then just talk to me about it.
You don't fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, talk to me about it in private. Don't be calling me a weasel on Twitter and deciding to jump me for no reason, pretty much. Then people know who I'm talking to.
I know they do. UWE is set to make its return very soon. Very, very soon.
Next Thursday.
You'll see me go one-on-one with the King of Nevon McDonald.
Beat him once,
I'm going to do it again. You'll also see Revan go one-on-one with the Shotgun Kid, the Prodigy, Mr. Johnny Reed, in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Should be great.
Oh, yeah. Stay tuned for that.
Oh, yeah.
And if there's nothing else.
We did our plugs, but we can't end the show quite yet because there is one more question.
Oh.
Riley wants to know favorite movie and from either one of us.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie.
That's like a tie between The Basketball Diaries and The Crow.
Nice. I've got so many I've liked. I think actually my favorite movie of all time is The Breakfast Club, though.
Great movie. It's my girlfriend's favorite movie.
It's partially because of the song that's in it. I've always been a big fan of that song, even from seeing the movie. So,
yeah.
But no, the actors are great in there too. It's interesting to see the young versions of those guys compared to knowing how they are now.
Yeah, Dirty DeChico is the modern day Judd Nelson.
Right. Speaking of, that's another guy I would like to get on this show at some point if he'd ever be down to it. Talk to him at one point in time about possibly coming on here, but
I'll smack him in the back of the head and tell him to get over here.
Right. I'm sure Dirty would have plenty of things to say. So.
Oh, yeah. I feel like he's just waiting.
Yeah.
He's waiting for the right moment, to be honest with you. I've been talking to him a lot lately.
I'm sure a couple people are waiting till the right moment, but Riley said his favorite movie is 10,000 BC.
Good movie.
Can't say I've seen that movie.
I saw parts of it. I think I had to watch it in school.
Yeah. Hey, we got back up to 3 viewers again. It was. I'm not the host for this show, but I'll say if you guys got any last minute questions, pop them in there real quick.
And just remember, just because you might have missed the live stream because you were at work or with family or had to go to sleep early or jerking off or just being a terrible fucking person, fuck you. You could watch it again because it'll be on YouTube, uploaded by Mr. Tony the Tiger himself.
Yes, Hayden, you helped get it back up to 3. Thank you, HT.
Awesome. I guess that worked.
Right.
And if you don't watch it, I will murder you. Okay. So anyway, are we dry in the comments? How we doing?
H2 was the last one that just said anything. That was a minute ago, so let me refresh, make sure nothing else happened real quick. Otherwise, we should be good. H2, I'll give you this last second if you got any question that you want to ask. If you didn't ask any. Yeah. H2 says, "Damn, I gotta watch then. I don't want Atlas to murder me."
I should have just sat there like, I'll kill you.
Right? There you go.
Well, glad we got H2's full view once this is over. I know he's got a full schedule. I know the man.
Yes, he's
For him to finally get on at 10 o'clock p.m. is probably a plus.
right. I'm assuming that you did. He asked if you asked the questions that he DM'd you.
Shit.
He's got to double check.
Damn it, H. Who the hell is this?
BC for life? Bullet Club? Maybe.
Where are you, H2? Ooh, I think I did because I'm looking at my Facebook, but he probably sent him on Twitter.
That's my valley. Ah, snap. Yep, he sent it on Facebook. So.
He sent it on Facebook?
Yep.
Damn it, back to the Facebook.
I was going to say, he doesn't do a whole lot on Twitter when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Some of the best conversations I've had with H2 were probably on messaging on Twitter, so.
Yeah.
Go right to the source.
I'll tell you this much. I was actually kind of expecting more questions about last week than what you gave me, to be honest with you. So.
This is funny because one of his questions was the first question I asked you and forgot that he even put it on there. Okay. Got you interesting. Who is your favorite pro wrestler of all time?
Ooh. Nobody did ask that question.
That's true. H2 coming in with the beast bite.
Yep. Last minute. Man. Nah, I kind of went along with it earlier, but I'd have to say The Undertaker.
Perfect answer. And his final question, because I asked you two of his questions without knowing. What was it like for you to attend your first backyard wrestling show, a.k.a. NWF Adrenaline's When Worlds Collide?
Amazing. It was a great time. I wouldn't mind knowing that I'm going to When Worlds Collide 2 this year. Wouldn't mind getting a little more involved in the show in some way, shape, or form. I enjoyed being a referee for the first time ever, and think I did a pretty decent job, even though it was an Extreme Rules match, so it wasn't really much to it other than counting the 1, 2, 3. But yeah, I enjoyed it very much so, and look forward to going to When Worlds Collide 2 and hoping at some point that I'll get to attend even more shows. So even outside of Michigan. May I add that there is a possibility of me going to one show in New York here this summer. So I'm sure we could arrange that.
That's funny because
or
one of the questions I almost asked you was your experience reffing for NWF Adrenaline When Worlds Collide.
I pretty much answered that for you.
Yeah,
I had a great time. I look forward to stepping in a ring again. I'll say that much, even if it's not as a wrestler.
Well, what do you see yourself doing? Branching forward as far as, who knows? Maybe apparently you got issued a challenge that I wasn't aware of. Maybe you'll be stepping on underground soil.
Maybe.
UWE. We might see you ref again. Who knows? You could become a permanent official for NWF.
That could be a possibility.
We've heard you commentate.
Yep, that's something I love doing.
Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see some Tony the Tiger ring announcing.
I think I'll leave that to somebody else. Here it is. Man, they've got such a great ring announcer, and Kyle, he is
great.
awesome.
He's so great he gets announced.
Right? Yeah, I could see that happening. That'd be fun.
We hear anything left from H2?
Yeah, he says maybe Mickey Matthews, Alex Mason, and Tiger on play-by-play for One World's Collide 2. Man, I had a pretty shitty day, but hearing that you had an amazing time kind of turned my day around.
That's awesome. You made someone's day.
There you go. That's what I aim to do. No, I think that's, unless he's got anything else to add in there, I think that's pretty much going to be it.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the first and last episode of Atlas Talks Wrestling. I was your host, Jason Atlas. With me, thank you again, Tony the Tiger. It's been a pleasure.
It was a blast. Kyle is the GOAT. You're right. When it comes to ring announcers, H2. But,
all right, guys. Atlas out.
And we'll catch you tomorrow. See ya. Peace.